In the ancient realm of Azeroth, where magic and mystery intertwined, there existed a city unlike any other, Suramar. Nestled within the heart of the Broken Isles, Suramar stood as a testament to the grandeur of the elven civilization, its spires reaching towards the heavens, shimmering with the arcane brilliance of the Nightwell, a font of magical energy that had sustained its people for over 10 millennia. The Nightborne, or Shaldore, as they called themselves, were once part of the ancient Night Elven society, the Kaldori. The elves of ancient Kalimdor thrived beneath the eternal twilight, their civilization built upon the boundless power of the Well of Eternity. Magic coursed through their veins, shaping their arts, their culture, their very souls. They were beings of grace and wisdom, their golden eyes reflecting the limitless arcane might they wielded with reverence. But as the ages passed, so too did the ambitions of their greatest sorcerers grow. It was not enough to harness magic. It had to be mastered, bent to their will, made greater than what the stars themselves had ordained. And so, under the rule of Queen Ashara, the Highborn, the most esteemed practitioners of the arcane, delved into knowledge forbidden even to the wisest among them. In their hubris, they reached beyond the veil of reality, drawing the gaze of the Burning Legion itself. Demons poured forth into the world, and war erupted in a cataclysm of fire and blood. The sundering shattered the land, breaking the once united elven race apart. Kalimdor, their empire, was no more, its remnants cast across the seas, divided by fate and circumstance. Among the scattered survivors were those who had not merely studied the arcane, but had built their lives upon it. The people of Suramar had long been the stewards of the Well's energies, and when the Legion's wrath fell upon them, they faced a choice: to fight and risk annihilation, or to preserve their legacy at any cost. Their leaders, powerful magi and scholars, made a desperate decision. A great spell was woven, and the city was sealed within an impenetrable barrier. The chaos of the outside world became but a distant memory, a storm that raged beyond the shimmering walls, while inside, Suramar endured. The Nightborne, Shaldori, were born of this sacrifice. Their world had shrunk, bound now to the Nightwell, the last vestige of the Well of Eternity's power, and in its glow, they reshaped themselves. They grew more refined, more attuned to the pulsing currents of magic that sustained them, becoming something distinct from the Kaldori they had once been. The echoes of their lost brethren faded into myth, the name of Suramar forgotten by those beyond the barrier. In the ages that followed, the Nightborne would watch the world change from the safety of their enchanted halls, never knowing that the choice that had saved them would also be the one to bind them in chains of their own making. Within their arcane cocoon, the Nightborne society flourished in isolation. Their culture, art, and magic evolved, untouched by the passage of time beyond their borders. The Nightwell not only sustained them, but also became central to their identity, a symbol of their resilience and dedication to preserving their way of life. However, this isolation came at a cost. The Nightwell's continuous influence altered the Nightborne, making them distinct from their Night Elven cousins. Those exiled from the city's embrace faced a grim fate, transforming into the Nightfallen, beings desperate for the arcane sustenance they had been deprived of. Without it, they risked becoming withered, mindless husks, driven by an insatiable hunger for magic. When the Burning Legion returned to Azeroth, its shadow fell once more upon Suramar. Gul'dan, the cruel harbinger of the Legion's will, sought the Nightwell's immeasurable power, and with him came an ultimatum: stand against the Legion and be crushed, or submit and be spared. Grand Magistrix Elisande, burdened with the weight of her people's survival, wrestled with a choice more harrowing than any before. To resist was to invite destruction, a fate she could not bear to inflict upon her kind. To surrender, however, meant bending the knee to the very force that had once shattered the world. In the end, self-preservation prevailed over defiance. With solemn resolve, Elisande opened Suramar's gates to the Legion. Demonic forces marched through the city's grand avenues, their fell green glow tainting the ancient streets. The once glorious sanctuary of the Nightborne became a prison of servitude, its people shackled to a fate they had spent millennia avoiding. And in the hearts of those who still remembered freedom, a flame of rebellion flickered, waiting for the moment to ignite. The ensuing struggle was monumental. The insurrection did not begin as an army, but as whispers in the shadows, Nightborne who could not bear to see their home under the Legion's yoke. First Arcanist Thalisra, once Elisande's trusted advisor, was among the first to rise in defiance. Betrayed and cast out, she gathered those who still had hope, forging alliances with outsiders who sought to break the Legion's grip upon Azeroth. Heroes from distant lands infiltrated Suramar, slipping through the gilded palaces and shadowed alleys, striking where the Legion's forces were weakest. Slowly, the tide began to turn. Ancient wards were undone, demonic warlocks fell to swift blades, and the Nightwell, once the heart of the Nightborne's strength, became the very battleground upon which their fate would be decided. As the battle raged, the rebels stormed the Nighthold, Suramar's sacred heart, where Elisande had made her final stand. Twisting time itself, she sought to rewrite fate in the Legion's favor, but even she could not outmaneuver destiny. The battle was brutal, magic clashing against magic, the echoes of spells tearing through the chamber as the future of an entire people hung in the balance. In the end, Elisande was overthrown, her dominion shattered like the illusion it had always been. And when the final blow fell upon Gul'dan, the warlock who had once promised dominion, but only brought despair, the Legion's hold on Suramar crumbled. The city, long a prisoner of its own past, was free once more, and the Nightborne stood at the threshold of a new dawn. With the Legion's shadow lifted, Thalisra and her allies embarked on the arduous journey of healing and rebuilding. The Nightborne, long accustomed to the isolation of their enchanted city, now found themselves faced with a world that had moved on without them. Centuries of seclusion had left them estranged from their kin, and the scars of the Legion's occupation ran deep. Some viewed the outside world with curiosity, eager to embrace the future, while others clung to old traditions, wary of change. Yet, under Thalisra's guidance, Suramar slowly mended its wounds. The city's once ruined districts were restored, its people relearning what it meant to live without the Nightwell's unrelenting grasp. The Nightborne sought to reconnect with their elven brethren, the Kaldorei, who had once been their kin, and the Sindorei, who shared their reverence for magic. Tensions simmered, for the past could not be erased so easily, but the desire for unity remained. Suramar, once a sanctuary sealed away from the world, opened its gates at last. No longer bound by the mistakes of their ancestors, the Nightborne stood ready to shape their own destiny, honoring the rich tapestry of their history while stepping boldly into the unknown future that awaited them. Thus, the tale of Suramar stands as a testament to resilience, the complexities of choices, and the enduring spirit of a people bound by magic, history, and hope.